All right,
Chuck's name associated.
it is Thursday, February 10th. Your Richland County Board of Commissioners are now in session. I'm Commissioner Tony Vero, joined by Clerk Stacy Craw, Commissioner Darrell Banks, Commissioner Cliff Mears, County Administrator Andrew Keller, Mr. Part-timer soon enough, Chuck Minnick, whose time is coming short here, Adam Gove, our county engineer, who hasn't shaved since the 80s, and Teresa Alt with Youth and Family Council, and our Ricky and Lucy in Mobile Land.
Al and Carl
So
are
Al and Carl are out there. So without further ado, Chuck is here. I almost had a heart attack to talk about less money, so to speak.
Yeah,
But there'll be a caveat to that. So
I'm sure there will be. So, on the demolition of the jail cells, as we're taking the cells out, we have determined that the floor leveling process that we was gonna do isn't gonna be adequate. The floor is off from cell to cell a lot more than we thought it was gonna be. Just, obviously, we're dealing with 1968 technology on the floor. They didn't laser it, obviously. So just filling in the voids of where the bars was is not going to work. So we're looking to take it out of the current contract due to unforeseen, problems of the floor being completely so many different levels. And if we would do the process that we was going to do, you would probably be making trip hazards. So we're actually looking to take that out of the contract and the block work out of the contract, just because they're they kind of tie together. We would need to actually get the floor right before we get the walls and stuff in. So we're looking to take them both out and looking from guidance, maybe from Brad Maurer on what our next move would be to make that right. But obviously, this is not the right answer of just patching it. So we're looking to remove it and to take it out for now.
So the good news is that means it'll be 29,500 less.
Yeah,
The bad news is
it could be a lot more, right? Not sure,
You can pay me now or pay me later.
it's gonna pay later. It's
gonna
coming.
pay later. Okay, so I'll ask a motion that we approve the change order to 29.5 to the good for now.
So moved. Seconded.
Contractor already signed. Did he send you that? Okay, you have it. It's up here.
We have the county on my email. I have it.
we have it.
Okay,
Josh
I
said
wanted to
he
make
emailed
sure.
it to Stacy. So,
Right, I
okay.
thought he did, but
Commissioner Vero,
Yes.
Commissioner Mears,
Yes.
Commissioner Banks.
Yes.
We haven't bid this out, the work that needs to be done yet, that they,
right, yeah, the second part of finish is not bid out, so
If
we actually need to be.
can't Lynn Ferry just navigate the
There
course?
might be a few more emails if you do
Gosh,
that.
we need to even those floors out.
Actually, we probably need to be changing or looking at sending RFQ out for qualifications for the next steps of this. So I know that that's kind of the next step that we need to be doing. So we can hire contractors to start performing this work and to get it kind of seamless. So when we're done with the bars, that we can start on the finish work and know where we're at on money.
And you're gonna do the floors and the walls separate from everything else in the future.
Not necessarily. It could be two different jobs. We could maybe do floors, mechanical, and build the block security wall all in one contract, or we may make it all one contract, depending on funding from the county and how you guys want to fund it, I guess, is maybe how it could be determined how we would bid it out.
We'll talk, first things first, and that is to retain an architect or engineer to design precisely what we're going to do. And once we're in contract with that architect or engineer, we
Right.
can discuss phases or scope of project at that point. So,
All right. So I guess the first part is just get the RFQ out and so we can retain that. So
we're
I
going
know,
to talk to the judges later today, actually, about that project. So
Sure.
the commissioners will be able to hear from the judges.
Anytime we can see Judge Robinson and Nom off is a good time. At least on this side of the fence. Okay, Chuck, thanks for the tepid news.
Yeah. Was I supposed to talk about the engineers? Did you talk about?
We got that, we have that on here.
Let Teresa go and then.
Okay.
That's why Adam. came up.
Yeah, we gotta say no to Adam.
Go sit in your seat.
Sorry.
All right, Ms. Alt, she who always sneaks in another document past the timeline.
Nope, sorry.
It's like I see Teresa Alt's coming up. I'll wait till 9:20 to get another document in there.
Yeah, I know.
I gave them.
Oh, they haven't?
They have everything. Yep.
Okay.
So she is here to talk about amendments to contracts we have with various agencies and organizations. This is not uncommon. Take it away.
Yes, so the first contract amendment is agreement 634-22A. And it's TANF Title 20 transfer. And they would like to increase from 577,000 to 700,000 to Children's Services to support the Court Liaison and Kinship Navigator program.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Arrow,
Yes.
Commissioner Mears.
Yes.
Commissioner Banks.
Next.
Second amendment is with, this is workforce funding, and it's with the chamber to increase the contract from 113,855 to 123,755 and 88 cents for the wages of the workforce talent and innovation director at the chamber.
Motion to approve.
So moved.
Commissioner Barrow,
Yes.
Commissioner Mears,
Yes.
Commissioner Banks.
Yes.
The sneaky one is another workforce contract. This is a resolution for a new agreement with Real Workforce Solutions, which is a individual who provides program monitoring, and it's for $5,000 to provide program monitoring for Area 10 and the adult dislocated worker and youth programs.
Motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Barrow,
Yes.
Commissioner Mears.
Yes.
Commissioner Banks.
Yes.
Thank you.
You.
Have a great day.
You too. Okay, now we'll go through our regular items. Motion to certify the record of proceedings for February 2022.
Commissioner Barrow,
Yes.
Commissioner Mears.
Yes.
Commissioner Banks.
Yes.
Motion to approve requisitions.
So moved. Second.
Commissioner Barrow,
Yes.
Commissioner Mears.
Yes.
Commissioner Banks.
Yes.
All right, Stacy, before we approve weekly transfers and appropriations, I have a couple questions.
Yes.
Looking at the EMA request.
Mhm.
I'm trying to follow, I didn't see any cash in the 342 fund. And I also didn't see monies in the one expense line item for 2022. So I'm curious as to how they were gonna pay. I didn't understand their request.
I think her request isn't she certifying money on the top part of the paper,
Doesn't
the
say,
revenue line item.
doesn't say certify though, and they're both expense line items with 532,900 and 530,700.
Thought she had a revenue line on there. She doesn't.
I don't see one. Do you guys see one? I didn't see one.
I'll have to, oh. They had carryover, so there is cash in there.
I didn't show any.
They've had cash in there since 2017. Laura and I looked at it
Can you
and
take
they keyed in,
a look at 342? I don't see.
and they keyed in the permanent appropriations. They did the top one, but they didn't do the one that's highlighted, the $1,000 one.
Right, take a look at 342 real quick.
Yep, I looked. They've had carryover funds. I looked at it with, yesterday. This one doesn't bring up the cash, but they've had, what's the total of that? Like 50?
3,500.
So 3,500's been carried over every year since like 2017.
Where did it go? I'm not trying to be a pain.
It's not going anywhere. They got a grant and they have not used the money. So they're appropriate.
So we have to first certify the money then?
It is certified. Any carryover funds are certified.
So
So it's been certified, but they missed that appropriation that's highlighted.
really the motion is to appropriate $1,000 into the travel
Certified.
from certified unappropriated. So we'll make that amendment to theirs. And then the next question is looking at trying to follow the sheriff's. Can you explain that to me at all?
So they applied for a grant
Okay,
last year to help pay for the COVID stipends that we gave everybody.
yep,
So the general fund paid for those stipends.
okay,
Since the sheriff was awarded a grant, that money, with absence of some staff, that money went into unclaimed funds. So we're putting it into the grant fund since it was a grant, and then they're transferring it to the general fund to reimburse the general fund for those COVID
and
stipends.
it's been certified?
No, we're just transferring it into the general fund, into their revenue line item. We are not certifying it. We're not appropriating it to
So
the,
we're going from non-general to general.
and just depositing it to the general fund.
Okay, motion to approve with that one amendment.
So move.
However, the sheriff's is doing that.
And second.
Arrow,
Yes.
Commissioner Mears.
Yes.
Commissioner Banks.
Yes.
Okay, it's engineer day. It looks like the engineer is asking that we certify the annual county road mileage. Road miles seems to be the topic of the week all over this county as to what needs to be plowed. So at this time, I'll ask that we certify the mileage, reducing it a little bit to 347.602.
Correct. Reduction is due to annexation.
We have less miles to plow now.
Right.
That you need one less truck then, which is like still more than other places?
At 0.013 or whatever it is.
It's making a difference.
Making-
We'll have to adjust their payroll line item accordingly
I think so.
too then, right? Motion to approve.
Second.
I'll save it, dash is sold.
Yes. Daryl, you making the motion?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yes.
Commissioner Mears, Commissioner Banks.
I guess we'll do this. Cliff. All right, one second, please. Okay, next. Our engineer staff was very helpful when we had the water line break. His staff was out there working long and hard in very cold weather, to locate the source of the break. And obviously, as a result, the engineer's office incurred some added expenses. And our friend, Mr. Engineer, is asking that we reimburse him for various items such as labor, material, and rental equipment. Apparently all that gas tax increase money just, it wasn't enough here. So, he's asking that we reimburse him to the tune of $2,475.07. First off, again, thank you. Your staff was.
Yeah, I definitely want to add, your staff was so helpful. They was on the job, brought plenty of equipment. They were so helpful. It was great to work with them. And I know that this is fraction of what we paid if we would went out to, the community and hired somebody just to bring equipment in. So he's, I feel he's more than this, and I think he saved us probably more than double that. So thanks to them. They did a great job though. It's clean and great job. So
And I'm glad we were able to help, timing wise.
yeah,
It
it's
happened at a
short notice.
At a good, we were able to.
Besides waking JD up at midnight to tell him the problem. He was good.
So Stacy, how's contingency looking?
I haven't used anything yet.
So I guess that's why we have a contingency light item, I would presume.
That's why it is. So can I make a motion? We take care of these expenses out of our contingency.
I will make a second with gratitude.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
Commissioner Vero,
Yes.
Commissioner Mears.
Yes.
Commissioner Banks.
Yes.
Okay.
Stacy, will that just be a transfer of funds or how do you?
I will probably have to cut you a check.
We'll just take it off their budget next year, whatever that reduces budget by that amount. So remember that for 2023 budgeting.
Administrator got that?
Yep. Andrew, you put a mental note there. Okay, next up, we have a request to approve an over dimension overweight permit for Stefan DRP. Let me have a motion for that.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Vero,
Yes.
Commissioner Mears.
Yes.
Commissioner Banks.
Yes.
All right, last at least item on our agenda is we have to advertise for the Possum Run Road box culvert. So may we have a motion to advertise for that bid via bidexpress.com web service, and it's up until 10 a.m. on Thursday, March 3rd, 2022.
So moved.
Commissioner Vero,
Yes.
Commissioner Mears.
Yes.
Commissioner Banks.
Yes.
Okay, that's it for our items that are listed on our agenda. Any questions from Ricky and Lucy out there?
Back on the jail for just a second, Chuck. When did you guys realize that this floor isn't the leveling process wasn't going to be adequate? And is that a concern anywhere else around the building? Any other floors, or is this particular to the jail installation floor?
Yeah, it's just because what happened is when they built the courthouse, they built the bar sections in before they put the final loaded the final coat of concrete out. So when they did that, the bar sections and cells was already up. So from cell to cell, which you can see with the cells up, wasn't perfectly level with the next cell to them. We didn't actually think about that real far, that could be a problem. I mean, from when the cells are up, it looks perfectly normal, but as you take it down and take out that, wall partition, it's obvious that it's about a ½ inch off from the next cell over, which with the wall up, you can see it. So it's not a problem with the rest of the building. It's just because of how they put the jail cells in the jail in 1968.
Okay, and is there any way to, or do you have any ballpark figure in mind what it's going to cost to get that resolved? Any ideas?
Yeah, we're looking for a little bit of design. We do know that there's some newer materials, epoxies and stuff that could maybe be overcoated and to floor level. We're not sure what process we can use that. That's why we're looking for maybe some architectural that we can go out and look for some different avenues of how we could fix it. So we're not, spending too much money when we could have had a simpler fix, but
Is that code for less than $29,500?
we don't know. I can have a number on it.
Watch this old house. I think they've done it.
Right, yeah.
Is Bob Vila around? Can we bring him in here?
This old jail.
Right. Al Borland anywhere?
And is Is there any timeline then? Obviously, if you've got putting RFPs out or RFQs, there's probably no timeline for when you think you'll be able to get this done.
Yeah, I mean, definitely the RFQ process is first, to get a qualified person, then go from there. I mean, we're looking till, beginning of May for the demolition of the jail to be done. So it's gonna be sometime between now and the beginning of May when we start that process.
Okay, and if I could jump back to, I didn't hear Adam when he said, I heard the county road mileage reducing 347.602. What was the amount that is being reduced by?
It's being reduced by 0.013 miles, and it's due to an annexation into the village of Crestline of Lincoln Highway, old Route 30.
Thank you.
He gets one less plow for that, Carl.
That's what, like the length of a car?
Yeah, it's 140 feet, I think.
It's a little longer than a car.
One car.
They're very happy with that change.
Anything else, Al?
And police department. Sheriff.
No, I don't have anything. Lucy asked all the questions.
I wonder which
Yeah,
one
who-
was which.
yeah.
I'm glad you clarified that. Ricky.
Okay, seeing that there are no further items, we're actually going to recess because we come back in session at 3 p.m. today and it's 9:51 a.m.